You spoke, we listen. Same clean foundation. Now turn it up! They wanted more movement, more time on the glass, more hold on the vertical, more control on the pass. So we went back to work, dialed it in, no guess, more glide, more cling, built for tenors, built for success. Not some random mixer, not whatever makes it thick. Every part has a purpose, every move deliberate. Made for real and stylists, made to handle every test. More glide, more cling, built for tenors, built for success. More glide, more cling, more time to get it right. Better wet and better hold, made to work the glass all night. You spoke, we listen, now the difference is plus. Built for tenors, built for success. To glide plus hydrophobic glass, watch it hold its ground. OG starts pulling back, plus keeps laying down. Longer on the surface, more coverage in the test. Not just thicker in the bottle, it performs where it counts best. Same clean-minded chemistry, still no mystery mess. More glide, more clean, built for tenors, built for success. This is not replacement, it is another way to work. OG keeps it simple, plus gives it extra worth. Choose the field you work with, choose the one that fits your process. To glide plus, built for success. Built for success. You spoke, we listen. Same clean foundation. Now turn it up!
Hey, what's up, guys? Okay, I promised a Tint Talk this Tuesday, and it's Tuesday. I'm running out of time fast in the day, but I figure, what the heck? I will do it, and here I am. So, what do you want to talk about? We got a couple of new tools we can talk about. We got lots of things we can talk about. I guess first thing, can you hear me? Because I didn't even test my audio. I assume it's working, but you know, one can always assume. Sorry about the hair mess. That's its own thing too. What's up, T-Town? Hey, did you get your OptiGlide? We're doing this thing. All right. So I got a few people in here, and I meant to give it some thought. See, I came in early today, so I get some things out of the way. One of the things I needed to do was change the tires on my zero turn because they were bald and I had new tires, and it was just a matter of doing it. So I came in like 7:30 this morning, thought I was going to do that real quick. There was not much quick about that. So I did it, and it didn't go quite the way it went in my mind. The craziest thing, but eventually I managed to get it. Now, I did use my truck to drive over the sidewalls to break the bead and ripped a hole in the sidewall of my tire on my truck. So my truck's got new tires on it now because apparently that's a thing. So minor little mishap. Back, got the lawn mowed, so that part's good. And been trying to make gel all day, but there's just so much to do. I don't know if this will show you guys, but it did. Cool. So this is my new machine. I don't know if y'all can see it very well or not, but yeah, anyways, this is my new machine. Good stuff. Um, we can, I'm back. Still learning how to use this restream thing. I haven't streamed in so long. I got it. Now you guys will get a kick out of this if you can see it. What's it doing? Oh, it's uploading the image. Anyway, so this is the machine. Oh, the damn door's open on it on that picture. I don't think I got a picture of the door not open on it. But anyways, this is kind of in its new home. And you can see my mixer beside it to the right. That's the mixer to the right is what I've been mixing in, and that's 8 gallons. The mixer in the center of the picture, that's 130 gallons. So just in case you're wondering, are we serious about OptiGlide? Yeah, we're kind of serious. One thing I've been doing this entire time is just invest in every single bit of money that is made off of OptiGlide back into OptiGlide. And for a minute, I was actually I was staying in the black. It was selling so fast, and um, I was just buying all the things needed, and then we put the machine into the mix, and we got a DI water system installed, and a few other odds and ends. And I think I'm back in the red again with OptiGlide, but that is the nature of the beast, I think. So that is that. Yeah. One thing I can definitely tell you about, oh, Pete Down says he's been running a new camera in the shop and dealt with a lady that didn't like how I talked to her. He had snap on her outside of her car, and since I tinted it yesterday, I was a jerk. Well, I mean, mm, funny thing about society today, society's a different world than when most of us was growing up. It just is. Daisy Schultz, what's up? Stacy's struggling a little bit with the keyboard, but that's all right. We're not going to hold it against you. All right, so you guys want to hear a little bit about some tools, some new stuff in the lineup for us. Now, I didn't want to do this, and then I did this, but I don't know if any of you guys have noticed, but Fusion has went through some changes over the last several months, and between that and they've had some staffing issues, it's really kind of put a little bit of a bottleneck in the in the supply chain. So I have a lot of Fusion products now. My order did finally come in. I'm running a little bit low or out of All Type and Epic Orange. So we're going to be waiting on that now. But aside from that, I completely ran out of uh, squeegee handles. And what kind of a tool supplier doesn't have any squeegee handles, right? So I had to make a quick choice decision. So I bought some Chinese tools, and we have these on the website too. The neat thing about these is I had them air freighted from China, which costs an enormous amount of money. And still, so these squeegee handles, um, they're about half the cost of a Fusion handle. From what I can tell, they're as good. And I actually hate that. And the reason I hate that is because we're supposed to be making America strong, American manufacturing strong. We're supposed to support our manufacturers. Sometimes things get out of our control and we have to do what we have to do to move forward because we can't go without. And so that was the decision factor. And so we've got one that is real similar to the Shorty. We've got one that is built like the Shorty, but the size of, how's this work? The size of the long 5 inch, and then we've got an 8 inch as well. And I didn't order as many 8 inches, but I needed an 8 inch handle. I didn't have any standard 8 inch handles, and I believe they're right around $14 or $15 each versus a $30 handle from anybody else. And so I don't, I don't outrageously mark things up and try to make the buku profit margin off of them. I just tried to do everybody a favor and um, see what I can do about UPSs here. And Ayan is way in the back room, so I'm not 100% sure if she's going to help UPS or not. So bear with me. But anyways, so I just marked it up the margin that I need it to be, and that's where we're at with those. But I do want to talk to you guys a little bit about some tri-edge squeegee blades. I think these things go under the radar, and they are, in my opinion, a game changer. They are absolutely phenomenal. And they're the Wax series, the Pro, and I don't know if you can see this, the Pro Blade Wax by Tri-Edge. This is a 5 inch. It fits all the standard 5 inch handles, so there's no worries about that. This one, if you're gonna give it a stiffness, like what is it compared? The teal, which that looks a little blue on my screen, but the teal one is actually right around the Orange Crush or Blue Max stiffness, and it's like I said, it's absolutely phenomenal. The feel of it, it's real. It's a slippery. It's I don't know the science behind it, but he calls it wax, and it feels kind of waxy. It's slick. I actually had somebody tell me I think it might be too slippery. I've never heard of such thing with a squeegee blade, but they've got three durometers. This is the medium, or what they call the medium. Um, they've got a magenta one that is disappearing. They've got a magenta one, and I only have the 8 inch right now. The 5 inch was on back order. I've been waiting for almost 2 months for it. I guess, supply chain is a real thing when you're waiting on manufacturers to get raw materials and run batches and stuff. So that's what's going on. But the magenta one is actually, you would compare it to like a Red Line or the Blue Beast. It's a very hard, but still the same waxy feel. It's like I said, I think these are going to be a game changer. And then they have a soft one. It's orange, and um, it's a much darker orange than that. And my color on the camera is a little funky, I guess. But this is soft, and this would be your cleaning squeegee, kind of like a Clear Crush or even a Pink Clean, if you're going to compare it to something. But don't sleep on those. I think they're a few dollars cheaper than their counterparts, and that might be an introductory kind of thing. They are made in the US squeegee blades, so they're going to carry a little bit more price tag, obviously, but either way, they're a phenomenal option. And honestly, that's I don't know what else to talk about. Those are the new things that I off the top of my head I could run and grab that I can think about. Um and of course the new machine. I will let you guys in on a little secret. Since there's only 5 of you here, you can either keep this to yourself or tell everybody you know. I don't care. But I'm waiting for the rest of the wiring and everything for the new machine, because it is 220 3-phase. Got to get a whole electrician in here, a plumber. Actually, I'm going to be my own plumber. on this one. But actually, I do have to get a plumber because I'm going to run a drain port on it so that when I clean it out, I can just flush it right down the drain. And that being said, when it's up and running, I'm giving away free gel. No purchase necessary. It's going to be limit one per person. Everybody gets one. I don't care if you've ordered from me before. I've sold thousands of gallons of this stuff, but I am absolutely so convinced that OptiGlide Plus is the game changer in the market. You're not going to find a better gel out there, period. I'm putting my money where my mouth is, and I'm probably going to give away 400 bottles, and all you got to do is pay shipping. We'll get that set up for you probably in about a week. I got tomorrow most of the rest of the stuff I could think of as far as supplies should be here. And then after that, all right, Stacy, we'll see you next time. What's up? Howard does like free. Howard got the first ever OptiKeg, and that's interesting. So the OptiKeg actually taught me some things. Howard's got a 10-foot hose, and it sprays pretty decent for him. I gave Matt over at Tint Studio, I gave him one to try, and I know he likes to walk around with his hose, so I gave him a little bit longer hose, and I think I gave him a 20 or a 25-foot hose. But either way, too much hose, too thick a gel, won't quite spray it out the end. It'll build up pressure, you squeeze it, it'll spray a little bit, and then stop spraying again. So that's going to be, a factor of 1/4 inch inner diameter of the hose and the length of the hose. So yeah, that's gonna, if anything, you'll get a great bottle. Yeah, absolutely. We're gonna be giving away those bottles, and those are not cheap bottles. I'm looking at this as um I'm looking at this as just a marketing expense. Oops. Sorry if you're mobile. I'm not used to this dual platform thing either. I got two screens. One is widescreen and one is mobile screen, and that's weird. But I like to swing in my chair, and I don't stay in the center in the mobile screen when I do that. Anyway, so yeah, the Plus is amazing. The Plus is freaking incredible. So I finally decided I'm done testing things for a while, and I tinted my front doors on the um I tinted the front doors on the building here, which was my test windows. And man, those doors are old and they're trashed and they're leaky and just nasty. And I'm like, well, let's put the OptiGlide to the test and see. And so I used the OptiGlide. Oh my God, guys, we're really onto something here. I had to change it when jumped. What'd you change when you jumped in where? Oh my God, I feel like I'm not keeping up. I'm trying to keep up with 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 the chat. Anyway, so yeah, the OptiGlide OG, we're gonna keep a close eye on it. I have honestly the OptiGlide Plus is, and we're gonna get the price down on it too. Right now, there's just a lot of labor involved and a lot of stuff, and you know, I don't know if you guys saw, but I thought maybe I would show you guys. Um, did I know? Gone again. But anyways, I showed you guys the yeah, it's all gone. We'll just go back to chat. The view I was on the phone version. Oh, yeah. So, um, yeah, I'm dumping all the money in, and just in case you're not 100% sure, This is the deal. This is what I received Friday. And yeah, I think it was Thursday I made a video and I told you guys any day now. And came in Friday, came in over the weekend, got it all uncrated and everything. And yeah, what a lot of people don't realize is, um, the two things, the biggest expense of gel is going to be the labor and what it goes into. The gel itself is relatively inexpensive. Now, don't get me wrong. I started out buying distilled water, and I bought large quantities and get this to get distilled water trucked in. It's about $5 and change per gallon. So it's not as cheap as you would think. And I know. Before you say anything, you can run down to Home Depot, $1.50 a gallon, and buy distilled water. You absolutely can. And that's where I started. Unfortunately, the way this took off, I mean, I sold almost 1,000 gallons the first week. And so imagine me with 1,000 gallon jugs, hoping that somebody had some distilled water in stock the next day. And what am I doing with all these jugs once I empty them? Because that's a lot of plastic to crumble up and put somewhere. So that was what was going on there. And um, I figured that still at $5 a gallon, it's not the bulk of the cost of the thing. But the other thing too is what a lot of people don't realize is that oh, and in case any of you guys want to see what the keg looks like, there's the keg. Kind of a sexy little monster, isn't it? And yeah, anyway, so I'm looking for an image here that I can just share real quick, make life a little easier. Oh, I got lots of images. Um, but so yeah, this little jewel right here, this bag is $2 just for the bag. So, there's just a lot of little hidden costs. If actually we could just bring this little guy over here. I don't know if I'm doing this right, but I found it works, so it's what I'm doing. Um, so we got a $2 bag, believe it or not, an $8 spray bottle, and this carboy this carboy 5 gallon jug is like $20. And those are all prices without any gel or any product in them. That's just the that's just the vessel itself. That's what that costs. Now, I have a box specifically for the 5 gallon. It's $4.65 just for the cardboard. So we're basically $25 for before I put any gel in this 5 gallon container. But the nice thing about this 5 gallon container, and I don't have a picture of it to show you, but the spout on it is huge. The spout barely fits into the spray bottle, and it's as much gravity fed volume as you're going to get to fill that bottle because the gel's thick. I mean, it's the struggle's real, right? So that's where we're at with that. And then, of course, because of and that's why if you go over to Tint Studio to buy gel, he only sells gallons because of a lot of this behind the scenes stuff. So I not only have to get a box for the gallon size, but I've got to get a box that'll fit 2 gallons, 3 gallons, 4 gallons. And I had a guy today buy 5 gallons. I'm like, that's $25 more than a 5 gallon jug. Why would you do that? And but whatever. I'm not going to question people's choices. We don't all do things exactly the same as each other, right? We That's how OptiGlide Plus came along, because my mind told me how gel was supposed to be used, and God, there's so many people using it in so many different ways. And if I find any other feedback, and that's also the keg idea was a little bit of Matt's idea, a little bit of my idea, but the reason that it came to fruition was a customer that demanded it. So, and that was John Boxcar um, Neds. But it solves a problem too. One complaint that I get is the gallon jug, and you'll notice if you buy a gallon from me, there's a gallon line on it, and it's always filled over the line. And the reason I do that is because one of the complaints I get that I don't have an answer for is that you can't get every drop out of it. You feel like, gel's being left behind, and that kind of sucks. And honestly, it's thick. It doesn't, it's I wish it was more like a toothpaste tube. You could just roll it and squeeze it out. That would be awesome. But until we figure that out, the keg's nice, or the carboy's nice, because they're gravity fed and it'll sit there over time in the right position, and things will go to the bottom, and you can get every drop out. The other neat thing about the keg is, you can hook a sprayer to it and use it to get all the way down to the bottom of windshields and stuff, instead of worrying about if your bottle's going to spray the way you want it to. So there's that. And I don't know. Aside from that, it's definitely an exciting moment in time. I'm pretty excited about it. I'm really excited about getting this new machine hooked up, though. I've never spent $10,000 on a machine before. I spent $5,000 on a machine before, but and that was exciting. And fast forward, I think we're coming up on 10 years. It'll be 10 years next month that I've owned my $5,000 machine. That's my slitter. That's what I slit film with, and it's $10,000 now. It was 5,000 when I purchased it 10 years ago. And so, yeah, things ain't cheap. Phone was ringing. I had to make sure. Can I get a spray tip that's finer spray? I like to experiment. You probably could, but TJ only has 2 other finer spray tips, and you're not struggling with, "Well, I got you beat. My embroidery machine was 15K." Oh, shit. Um, okay. So, my last job when I actually worked for somebody, we bought a Mamaki printer, and it was like, I don't know, 22,000, but I didn't buy that, so we can't count that really as, so you got me beat, Tim. I like it. Just about paid off too. That is exciting. God, I got cuts on my hand. Um, I don't know, Howard. We can definitely look into that. But the fight isn't necessarily with the spray pattern so much as the thickness of the gel. Um, one thing we could do is we could play with the viscosity a little bit, and you can water it down yourself. And that's the other thing. So OptiGlide right now is a lot thicker than it was originally, and I do that on purpose because another piece of feedback that I got was from it was from some of the southern folks saying it's too thin. But I talked to my local customer, and they're like, "No, it's fine." Um, and then I got to learning about temperature change, because if I'd set it out in the sun, it would thin right out. Now, when you cool it back off, it would thicken right back up, but I'm like, "So what do I do for these people?" Because there's nothing I can really do to create a gel that's gonna handle the heat and not lose viscosity. So my answer was really simple. We'll just make it a lot more viscous, a lot thicker, and the people that work mobily and don't have air conditioned or climate controlled environments to work in, and the people in the South that's dealing with extreme heat and trying to tint cars, they deserve a thicker gel. So I got it to where at 140 degrees Fahrenheit, it is the same viscosity as the OG at room temperature in a climate controlled environment. And that is about 6,500 CP on the Viscometer, which I'm sure that doesn't mean a lot to a lot of you guys, but that's a number. So just remember that number. 6,500 was the OG OptiGlide viscosity. Now the viscosity comes in between 10,000 and 11,000 CP. So we upped it almost, not quite double. But we gave it a big bump, like 85% thicker. And so for people in a climate controlled shop or, temperature controlled, um, it might be a little frustrating. It's definitely going to spray different. Now, it does still spray, and it sprays fine. It doesn't spray as finely as the OG did because it's not as thin. It's starting to get really thick. But and the amount of water that you can add to a spray bottle is really minor. I'm talking like 15 cc's. Take a 32-ounce spray bottle, add 15 cc's of, with a big fat syringe, add 15 cc's. You're going to thin it right out. And, so you can play with it, the viscosity that way if you like. But until I can come up with a heat resistant gel, which to my knowledge doesn't exist. Not something that'll be tint safe, because that's the other thing. We always got to circle back to, is it going to be safe for tint? See, I own Helios window films and we give a lifetime warranty. So I'm not going to sell you a product that is going to fuck up my warranty, because film warranties will outweigh and outrun gel sales any day of the week. So Tim, answer me this. Was it still manageable for you? Because that's the key thing. I find for me here, it's pretty manageable. I did have to adjust the nozzle, but it still sprayed. And the sprayer that I use is fine. Now, Matt did some tests with his Zep bottle, and yeah, the Zep bottle for Matt, and then I tested a Zep bottle because I also sell Zep bottles, and I didn't even think to test it in that. The only reason I didn't try Zep bottles in the first place, because it's a decent bottle, was because it says Zep all over it, and how are you supposed to brand that shit? So I had to go to a different manufacturer. We use Tolco bottles. We use their Blaster spray bottle, and it's absolutely fucking phenomenal. And it actually sprays more volume than the Zep bottle. But that being said, the Zep bottle won't spray any better than a stream. Once you start trying to fan it out, it just won't spray it. And so I think that's a volume issue. But just rest assured, you use one of these Tolco blaster bottles and they'll work just fine. For sure felt the spray not being the same. Oh, Tim, I thought you were going to answer me, but you didn't. And guess what, guys? It's 5 o'clock. I hate to have such a short tool talk. I could probably talk for a long time on this, but I'm not going to, because I ripped the sidewall out of my truck and it got new rubber today. It's actually at the tire place, and it's ready to be picked up. And I kind of need to pick it up before they close. And we close at 5 o'clock. It's 5 o'clock in case you're not in the Eastern time zone. And so that means that I have to let you all get to it. I'm going to try to do this every week. We're going to try to come up with good topics or possibly challenges. I don't know if I'll bring guests on or not. Maybe I will. What do you think? Should I? I've never, but we've also always had a duel, and Alex is out there killing it on roofs. So we can't make him not be a roofer anymore and sit. And I'm not sure how Ayana feels about sitting in front of the camera and sharing opinions. She's a little bit reserved. She's my ace in the hole, though. Almost coming out foamier. You might get that because of the slip and the surfactant. It is going to because of the force and the pressure behind it. So yeah, for sure, Tim. That might not be your imagination. Hey, did you want to drop me off at the tire place? Would you? Hey guys, guess what? Ayana's leaving and she's got a ride. And I was kind of thinking walking back to the tire place sucks, so I didn't want to do that. So I'm gonna leave now. But you guys have a good rest of your week, and I'll probably see you next week. Sound good? Well, did my comment not come in? Well, I don't know. I see the works great. Okay, good. Anyways, all right. We'll see you guys maybe next Tuesday.